So just as you think we're done with DC for a little while, it keeps creeping back up into our lives. Zack Snyder today just released an extended look, like a deleted scene, of the scene between Batman and Joker at the end of the Justice League cut. You know that trailer he released, and at the end of the trailer, Joker says something about how we live in a society where honor is a distant memory? Well, that line, that scene never made the final version. They clearly edited it out or just did a different version of it as a whole. It's not long, it's only about a minute 20 seconds, but they just released the extended version of that scene. There is a little bit of difference in dialogue. I'm gonna throw it up for you here right now just in case you haven't seen it.
You know, it's funny. You would talk about people who died in my arms. Because when I held Harley Quinn and she was bleeding and dying, she begged me with her last breath that when I killed you, and make no mistake, I will fucking kill you, that I do it slow. I'm gonna honor that promise. And maybe this will come in handy.
Honor? Really, Bruce? Honor? We live in a society where honor is a distant memory. By the way, who do you think screamed the loudest? The girl? Or the boy?
So as you can tell, some of the differences between the two scenes is when Batman talks about holding Harley Quinn in his arms as she's dying. In the release we got on HBO Max, Joker starts to shake and he goes silent and he doesn't really know what to say, and he feels like Batman's just playing around with him even though he knows it's the truth. But in this version, instead, he counters it with the whole idea of honor, how it doesn't exist anymore. And then he basically fires back at Bruce by saying whose death was worse, Robin's or Harley Quinn's, when he says the girls or the boys. And then right there at the end, when he starts to do his strange crackling laugh and Batman walks away, the camera zooms out and you see this destroyed city filled of dust, and you see a massive ship from Apocalypse just hovering in the atmosphere. And it just shows how bleak the world has truly become, and just the fact that there's almost nothing to live for anymore. Now, I don't want to keep repeating myself and saying the same thing over and over again, but I really do think this needs to be said. Restore the Snyderverse. I don't understand why Warner Brothers is doing this. Do they not like money? Because clearly they don't. If they liked money, you would think they would just continue with the Snyder Cut, which will make them more money than anything they are doing right now. Even on the HBO Max app, which is only in the States, but on their app, they removed the trending area. They removed the trending tab. So just like any other streaming service, when you hear from people that there's this great show or movie and you gotta check it out, you go to the trending area. So many people are talking about Justice League that they removed the trending section from HBO Max. And it's not just like that is a groundbreaking discovery and it's just, oh my god, they removed the trending section all because of Justice League. It's not just that, it's just the fact that all of these little things are piling up to be one big thing. And that one big thing is, why are they not continuing his vision? It is not a shock to know that there are people in Warner Brothers who don't like Zack Snyder. And it is not a shock to know that there are a select group of people who didn't even want this Snyder Cut to happen within that company. But at the end of the day, those people have to get with the times. If they were to green light his project, they can say whatever they want because I believe us as fans have a louder voice than them. The only reason why they have a company is because they have people like us who watch their stuff. But what really hit me in that entire shot, that entire sequence, is right at the end when the camera zoomed out and you saw the entire city. And all I thought to myself was, what a world Snyder was creating. It's so rich in mythology and creation that I just want to see what happens next. Even if there are things I don't completely agree with, I'm still excited. But I looked at that scene and that scene just summed up so much for me. So much that we haven't seen yet and so much that we were going to eventually see in all his plans and ideas that he had in mind. So like I said, I don't want to keep repeating myself. But for real, restore the Snyderverse. And for all those people who sit here and say that those sect of fans, including me, people who are the restore the Snyderverse fans, that we're toxic people and we're toxic fans, we are also the people who donated to suicide prevention, something that Zack Snyder was so high on because of his late daughter. If we were such toxic and terrible fans, we wouldn't be doing stuff like that. Some of these fans wouldn't go out of their way to do deeds and gestures that way. It's not being a toxic fan when you know there's something there and you know you deserve to see it or get it. We are paying customers. We pay these companies and corporations so that we can get what we paid for. Some people just say like, you're dealt the hand you get and you just gotta live with it. And sometimes you don't get what you want, and I think from a certain point of view that is absolutely correct. But in the same effect with movies and productions, that's like saying you go to a restaurant and you want A+ service, but instead you get D-. You know, the food isn't what you ordered, the service is terrible, the waiter or the waitress was rude, and you just say, well, you know what, wasn't the best night out, but it is what it is. I gotta deal with it. No. I even hate saying the word toxic or toxicity, but I think there is a level of toxicity that fans can hit, and I just don't think this is one. This is just something that so many DC fans, myself included, have wanted for such a long time, and I think the company of Warner Brothers has treated Zack so poorly that we cannot be held accountable for bad behavior when we ask for something that should be released and should have been released a long time ago. There are those fans who step out of line and do all that garbage of death threats and online trolling and complaining and all that stuff. But we can't be accountable for those people's actions. And Zack Snyder also can't be held accountable for those fans who act that way as well. The whole idea of restore the Snyderverse is not a picture of toxic fans. It's not painting a picture of these fans are needy, they're immature, they're grumpy, they're sour, they just want what they want and they don't deserve it. No, we're simply just sticking up for a man, Zack Snyder, and his vision, who was literally taken away by a company who released another version of his Justice League movie, of which he's not even accountable for. So, as if his 4-hour movie was not enough reason to continue the Snyderverse, maybe this 1 minute and 20-second video will add on to its case as well. And who knows what else Zack Snyder has hiding away in secret camera footage and photo stills that he yet has to release to us. Who knows what else there is for him to release eventually just to keep pushing that Snyderverse down the line. I don't have much of a voice on YouTube yet, but even if my voice is just a minuscule reason why this world can continue and how this world can exist, I want to be part of that. And I hope everyone else watching wants to be part of that too. Now, as per usual, comment down your thoughts, talk to me, hit me up, let me know what you think. Also hit that subscribe button and also leave a like, because unfortunately YouTube runs off of this whole liking algorithm system. So the more you like it, the more people will see this, and the more this Restore the Snyderverse movement can continue to move all around the world and all around the internet. But until the next one, guys, talk to you soon.